in you.
The only thing we just rely on is election campaign, and then we bring up leaders. To the point of
it's from my village.
The legislature is supposed to come up
Christian. You understand? They go to churches, they go to mosques.
No. That's the problem we have. That's the problem we have.
There's money in the country, just that we don't invest. We don't try to make money.
Every human being we want more than less in the economic field.
Yeah, a very good morning to you. Daddy Chris is here. What a face to see this morning. I know you prefer to see the young women because this man is trouble. But hey, I bring in some experience into the show. My name is Daddy Chris, and this is the weekly bulletin from the African Renaissance Television here in London. It's a great day. Wow, what a weekend. A weekend to remember. No, on Saturday, what we normally do is take a look at all that has happened within a week. And maybe try and make some sense of it all. I got some little video lined up, but I may not be able to actually touch upon them because I really wanted to repeat the presidential speech. I'm sure you must have heard him, but it's something we need to dissect today. Hopefully I'll be able to do that with my colleague in the studio. But perhaps the main focus is what happened within the week. There is a remembrance, something to remember. It is called the June 12th election. And every year Nigeria has come to celebrate. And what is the June 12th election? And I want everybody to understand it. See, when we talk about the June 12th presidential election in Nigeria, for young people, for those of you who are not Nigerians, who must have heard it, may not get a clear picture of what it is. I'll try and do some justice to it. I know ordinary Nigerians would have known. The younger generation might not be very much abreast with it, but the June 12th is now something we celebrate. Why? Because it was said to be the most peaceful, transparent, largely free from ringing, with Chief Moshood Kashimawo Oluwale Abiola, popularly known as MKO, of the Social Democratic Party, emerging as a clear winner of that election. It has never happened in Nigerian history. The subsequent election has been marred with ringing, violence, all kind of story. You all know what happened during the last election. You have people going to court. Now, what is unique about that election? Why are we celebrating it today? You see, I don't want to bring the images of some people onto the show today, but I'm sure as we play along, we'll begin to see them. But if you get, just in case you missed the news, there was pressure for the then military government to leave. That is the then Babangida and his regime. You know, they were all big boys. My bash at them. They were dangerous people. They were either killing themselves in the name of one coup, trying to take over from another, they kill themselves. But what is interesting is there was time for them to go. And they can't just go. So they wanted to give us a system that is civilian. Credit to them. That's something Nigerians have never missed. For the first time, I saw something that would have been a culture. When people say they're missing June 12th, I'm not celebrating it for this, but I'm celebrating a structure that is destroyed. Let me call it. For me, I want to describe two things here. The election brought Moshood Abiola. It was annulled. The man died in prison. Perhaps that's why we're celebrating. For the ordinary Nigerian, that is it. But for me, I am crying that a structure that would have survived the test of time, where the rest of the world will come to us to come and copy what democracy means, was destroyed by the same hand that built it. Why do I say so? Babangida came with two political parties. You don't go far. Whatever ideology, if you are liberal, if you believe in anything, just like we have in the Democratic Party in the United States, we have our own Social Democratic Party. And just because you are conservative, you are Republican, and you believe in those ideas, he come up with another party called the National Republican Convention, NRC. So there were only two political parties in Nigeria. And to be honest, all ideas, all political ideas can be summarized into these two forums, into these two blocks. If you don't belong to them, it's either you want to belong to the far left or the far right. There are only two sides to the story, the right and the left. So the right was our NRC. In America, you have them as the Republican Party. In the UK, they are the Tories. In Nigeria, and then we have the Social Democratic Party, which is like America, the Democratic Party. Here we have the Labour Party. That's what and that's what because we've been able to copy from the US, make it. Now, look at what Bangladesh. Every state, we built a secretariat for each party. So if you go to Delta State, there is a building for the Social Democratic Party. And on the other side, you see the building for the National Republican Convention. Well planned. All you need to do is go and register and sell your ideas through one of them for Nigerians. It couldn't be better. Today, we're practicing the multi-party system of government. What has we got from it? Loads of chicken people that don't even understand what is political party, they're all registering themselves as political parties. Rubbish. Wasting our time. In the name of, what are you trying to do really? You're doing actually nothing. And for me, it hurts because you guys are celebrating, oh, an election was annulled, but I'm crying for that structure that would have stand the test of time. Because today, I will either be going under SDP or NRC. And that way, the whole rubbish, if you go to vote in Nigeria today, you will struggle to decide, to even know which of the party you want to vote for. Because the ballot paper cannot carry all of them. Even when we know some are mushroom parties. But who am I to argue? But the truth is, it's either you are far left or you're far right. Why not just come to the right and left? Come together, fight and win election. The far right, look at this. Look at it in Nigeria today. I don't know which one is the problem we have now is this. Let me explain this a little bit further. Babangida went further. For the first time, a political parties in Nigeria have an ideology. For the very first time, I can tell you what this party stands for. And I'm going to ask my guests when they come on the show today, which is my first question. What do you understand by the APC? What do they stand for? Maybe if you're an APC member, I'm sorry that from next week, you will have the opportunity to call this show. That's something I want to really achieve next week. You'll be able to phone while we are live and you can talk to us. I want to make sure that it's working on this platform from next Monday. So what it means is you can just join us from home. You can join the conversation. I will open the line and everybody can talk. That is something that will be part of the show from next week. So it will not be only us talking to you. You can contribute to the show. But my question to you today is, what does the PDP stand for? Those of you carrying the PDP and those of you carrying the APC, what does it stand for? Oh, God, President said we'll go here, we'll go here. Are you a goat? We'll come into that. But you know, it's not your fault because you've not been taught. You see, what Babangida did was, do all that era, that structure gave to us was that I now understand that, oh, if I belong to the party that everything should be controlled more by the state, like the state should provide free education, it should provide free healthcare, and you should pay more taxes to the society. So at least, that is the idea of the left, which was embodied in the Social Democratic Party. And if you are very familiar with America, if the Republicans, if they say there's a case of war, the people will tell president, we won't go tomorrow. President will say, go today. They love to fight. That's why they want Donald Trump. Donald Trump it's like the warrior party. In the UK, we have the Tory party. They go to war easily. They want to show strength. They want to exercise discipline. But the Democrats are always restrained. Left for, in fact, what the trouble they have in America today, let me give you, they have their own problem. They've been having problem passing the healthcare bills in the United States. If you are sick in America, you're on your own. Unlike the UK, where you are sick here, you get to the free healthcare. They don't have free healthcare in the US. You pay your insurance and then you get your insurance. And see, but that's the difference. These are two political parties. Why one may agree that, and I agree with the Tories. Some of the ideas I agree with them, because sometimes they're going to say this is what the Democrats will say. Like in Labour Party right now, they say, okay, you pay more tax, and the state will run more businesses. Then the state can run better healthcare for you, better this thing. But the rich will pay more tax. No, the Tories are saying no, don't tax the rich that much. Leave the money with them so they can build more jobs. It's that way. The money is still the same money. It's the question is who controls it. But who is really safer? I am of the left. I'm a left guy, because I believe that the state, that's what I preach every day when they tell me government cannot have hand the business. Who says so? Government should have hand the business. You should do some business, because you're not elected to go and spend money. Your job is to do business, meaning you can do business. So give more job to the state. Let the private people run less. So the state, there can be equilibrium. Because the fear is with the I don't agree with the Tory, because sometimes I believe that the country is just going to get into the hands of the very few. That is my political ideology. But you know what I'm trying to say is that during that time, there was a clear political ideology. It was clear. I knew where I belong. I chose to join the Social Democratic Party even when I was not very politically matured. It was clear in my book. Now let me ask you a question today, Nigerians watching me far and away. What is the political ideology? Do you know what the PDP stands for? And if you don't, and you are carrying a member of the PDP, you are the biggest fool I've ever seen. Your children will not forgive you. And if you do not read the ideology or what the APC stands for, they say All Progressive Party. I don't understand. Progressive, what are you progressing to? The Democratic Party. Are you all left? So there's no right wing? I don't understand it. They just give the names. The only one I could quickly pick on is the Labour Party, because I am used to Labour Party in the UK. I know there will be more for workers, but again, it doesn't even work. Because sometimes I'm a legal student, and when you look at even the employment law, the way if you allow the left to run the state, in fact, there will be no employers, because they will force the employer to pay every day for the interest of the workers. What about the employers? Sometimes you can't even dismiss somebody that is really, really a waste. They will force you that you must. This is one problem with them, that you must pay maternity leave. Even when, so if a woman comes and is used to get pregnant today, and your company is not financially buoyant enough, you are in trouble. You must maintain her, you must pay her leave. In fact, the kind of laws, and we were looking at it and we laugh at it. So you cannot allow even the left to run all the time. But we don't need the right to run always all the time. So for a system to work, you just need these two to fight each other. When this one is saying, you say no. So they have that opportunity to fight themselves. I love to see the British Parliament played in that Parliament. Have you watched them? Please do. The beauty of it is that is democracy at play. We're missing that. We're missing that in Nigeria. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, I don't know what the APC stand for. I don't know what the PDP stand for. If you do, correct me by just dropping a message on this platform right now and say, this is what the APC stands for. If nobody can do that, then it's a shame on Nigeria. Because it has to be a shame on every one of us. That we are practicing a system that is not even, that we don't even understand. So, I'm joining a political party. Why am I joining the party? What does that party stand for? Is it because my brother is in the party? Look at the wave of defection today. You're not defecting because of what you have in your head, of what you think the party is going to do for you. And tomorrow you're going to blame them. It's like you give a thief something to eat, he's going to eat it. There's no way it's gonna remain a team because they don't even understand. No, sometimes I said to them that you call these people corrupt. I said they are not qualified to be called corrupt. Calling them corrupt will be an insult to corrupt people. They're not qualified. They are set of village fools that should be in their villages. But you give them power. What do you expect? It is because of this little understanding of what parties are. Missing June 12th, losing June 12th should not be seen with Miss Abiola. He won the election. The election was free and fair. That is just a part of it. That is just something that we shouldn't even be worried about. Abiola has made a sacrifice for us. The truth, what we miss from there was the structure that educated us. Babangida did some work with his team. They came out with all you people, how intelligent you are. Nigerians, Evelyn, I'm going to bring you on the show quickly. If nobody's with you, then make yourself single so that I can add you to the show, Evelyn. All right? Because I can see you have a space for another person. Oh, okay. Yes. Wonderful. I was waiting. That's why I've not added you guys. But it's like that man, his clothes is wearing green. Oh. We'll see a lot of, we want to see through him. Anyway, we'll be adding them quickly. We'll be adding Asaba quickly to the show. And my question today is, and don't be defensive. What do you understand by APC? And what do you understand by the PDP? I don't see the word. Though. I know it's People Democratic Party. One are umbrella. The other one is All Progressive Congress. They carry broom. Then they sweep. Some they carry umbrella. I agree. But what do they stand for? That's why we should cry for June 12th. That's why June 12th is somebody, people like us, is something to remember. I don't remember June 12th because Abiola died. No, that's not the issue. Because I'm not a free and fair election. No, but a structure that was designed to succeed was later destroyed by the same hand that built it. It's a sad one. And Nigeria has not healed from it. And if we can have this at the bottom of our mind, maybe as we move forward, we're going to think now, let me bring out the thing. We're going to think now, where are we as a people? Because if we don't understand this, we don't even understand the democracy we're practicing. Personally, this is my opinion. Even when I'm going to form my own political party, I'll be registering in next year. If I don't have the time to do this year, I'm going to register my political party. But the question is, do we really need another political party? The answer is no. The answer is no. We need to go and displace those who are abusing the parties. But that's why the party should not actually be formed by this set of fools. I like what Babangida did. This is one, this is two. Join one. You see, because there's nothing you want to say that is not in APC or that you want to say that will not be in the PDP. All this labor, rubbish, this, cancel them. Put them in only two. Because at the end of the day, we know Labour Party is not going to win presidential election. APC is not going to win presidential election. It's going to either become the PDP and the APC. And the more you divide yourself, you lose that strength. The left are not divided. From what I can see, I don't think they agree with, I don't know what their political ideology is. But Labour Party, are you more in line with the PDP because of Peter Obi movement? Because Peter, I don't even understand. We are following you because, and this is what was the funniest thing. We followed Peter because it was a time we needed a shift, or what I call a little bit of a transparent leader. You know, we're voting for Peter. And we're voting for Peter because Peter was saying, hey, I want to run the country differently. There will be less corruption. We saw that he ran well. And he was telling people like us that want to see an economy, which is the foundation of everything. That is number two. So that was we follow Peter. It was Peter movement that we're following. So I cannot equate, I know I'm wrong, the Labour Party with the PDP, because that is where Peter is gambling. But Peter, do you know the way to carry on your shoulder? We are not still clear. Do you agree with the Labour Party manifestos? For those of you in the Labour Party, can you talk to Nigerians about what the Labour Party really means? Because sometimes you guys are just confusing us. We're here watching you without a clear understanding. You know, these political parties have no meaning. They don't. I have been here and I try to, I try to engage them. And I can see that the people even standing for them, they are empty. No, oh God, if you see somebody from the Labour Party in the UK, his manifestos will be clear. It's going to be in line with the party manifestos. He has no different one, but everybody that's coming in Nigeria, what did let's go into their manifestos. Let's take a look. You know what I wanted to do? I wanted to bring, I don't want to bring my brothers to ridicule. I wanted to bring what happened in Delta State. I wanted to say, tell me the difference between the manifestos of Oborivori and that of Omagege. There was no difference. No difference. Because that's what we're up against. There was no difference. If you tell me today, what's the difference between Tinubu's manifestos and that of Atiku, you can't pick it up. Because, and then people like us don't even know what to expect. And now we are confused. Now we are very confused. Because there's no root, there's no foundation of these political parties. And that is why we are crying for June 12th. We are crying for SDP and NRC. That clear understanding of what political party stands for. And that is the foundation, that is the drive of a society. Do you want to go left? Do you want to give a society where the state control our education more? But you know what is so funny? Let me quickly take a memory back lane to the then of the then NRC and then NPN and UPN. There was a time in Nigeria we have the UPN and the National Republican Convention. NPN and UPN. You remember that era? UPN was clear, was more of the democratic structure. NPN was more of the conservative structure. Hey, if you don't understand this, go and try and follow what the conservative stands for. It's a beautiful political idea. If you are not confused, sometimes you say you agree with them here. Like I agree with the economic policy sometimes. So I agree with the way they try to structure society. I don't think, because if you leave everything in the hands of UPN then, they were going to give free education. This is what happened. If you were, those of you that are of my age, some of you wouldn't have gone to school if not UPN. It was during the NPN you pay school fees. Few people were in secondary school. In secondary school, there was school fees. Because they believe in quality education. Then when UPN win your state, they will implement their policy of universal education, free education for everybody. So, but there were implications. I am from Bende State then. Abdul Ali won. There was free education in Bende State. But if you go to the next state, which was MPN, there was no free school. Again, but they were going to have a quality school than what we have in the UPN state. Anyway you see it, you now have a choice. Oh no, I'm going to go for quality education or I'm going to go for quantity education. Let's use what quantity and quality. You begin to quote them. Again, they can defend it. Then they begin to tell you to vote for them on that basis. Not the more agenda. What is more agenda? More than others. What is more agenda? Wait first. I'm not stupid though. Renew hope. What is that rubbish? Today, what we have in Nigeria is renew hope. More agenda. I beg. When I see what I forget what they do for Edo State of recent. Because another one for try to refresh on our mind. More agenda. Renew hope. That one make we just see that. Because I look at the new flyers coming from my people. They now have the more agenda, now tallying with renew hope. The more agenda was tallying with Atiku. Hey, my people. Can't you see that we don't even understand what we say called democracy? Today, yes, you say June 12th is democracy day, right? The question is, do you even understand what you're saying? I just talk my own because of the ancestors, because they watch us. You see, at my age now, my children are grown up, and when they ask me questions, I want to be able to answer their questions. You that is of my age, that is watching this system, what do you have to tell the younger generation? I watch sometimes with keen interest when I see what the Gen Z the Gen Z. We have the Millennium generation, we have the Gen Z. They are two different generations, and they are quite interesting to deal with. You understand? And I think Gen Z are thinking a little bit faster. They are brave, but you have more advantage we didn't have, which the Millennium didn't have. So there's everybody. We know this is not time to lay blame, but perhaps it's time for you people to now bring this your new energy to bring it into something great. You know what would have happened? American culture has remained so. The people that set up the Republican Party and the Democratic Party in America, they are no more. But the legacy lives on and on and on and on. That's in that place people are enjoying. They are enjoying it today. That is what we miss when we say we've lost an opportunity in June 12th. So I know when people think about it, they will tell you, oh, hey, an election was annulled. That's still on the surface, but and that's not why Daddy Chris, miss June 12th. I'm gonna bring these people in from Asaba quickly. Asaba, I don't want to marry me today. What's going on? Hello. Look at your head.
Yeah, good morning, Daddy Chris.
Good morning, Daddy Chris.
Asaba, come on, I don't get light.
The light, yeah. You know, so it rains heavily here, and the light.
Okay. I see. Anyway, you are welcome to the show.
Thank you very
So
much.
I said I've been in the studio alone, and I've been trying to make a little bit of sense of why do you people celebrate June 12th? What do you understand? June 12th, June 12th. Yeah. Oh, June 12th. You guys were celebrating a few days ago, June 12th. Evelyn is a Gen Z. You understand? If I ask Evelyn, what does she understand by June 12th? She won't have anything to say that will be reasonable. I can promise you. And I'm going to give her the chance to talk. You understand? And it's not her fault. You know, and I expect different from this. So I'm going to listen to these two people. Why do you think June 12th is important? What do you remember about June 12th? As much as you can remember, don't worry, Evelyn, because you are of a different generation from us. I personally went through June 12th. At June 12th, that was in 1992, 1993, I was already in London. That's probably, I was in Belgium. You understand? You were not born then. So, or even were born, you were like, you see the park sand for that thing. You know when people say, you go play for sand, you go the park sand put. You never know what they take and they do. You remember that time, me? So tell us what you remember about June 12th.
Me, I know June 12th is a democratic day. The day that Abiola is supposed to be announced president, because he actually won. He got more than 8.3 votes, 8.3 million votes. He's supposed to be announced president, but the election was annulled, so he was not announced president. Then later on, he was arrested because I think he announced himself president in Lagos State, and he got arrested. Before he was released, he got I don't know if I would say he got killed or allegedly he died. And then now in 2025, there's a book that Vadiga wrote. He said he regrets it annulling the election because Abiola actually won. He actually won the election. So he said he regrets it. I'm wondering why he's regretting now. What, does he expect the family to do? That maybe the children, that their father actually won at that time, but the system has been corrupt for a very long time, I would say. It has been corrupt for a very long time.
This is about 1993.
It's supposed to be a reflective ceremony every June 12th, whereby we are supposed to remember and know that justice needs to be served. There's supposed to be openness when it comes to election. It's supposed to be free and fair because it's a day we should celebrate. It's a democratic day. But I don't know if we are actually in a democratic system with the way things is actually going at the moment. So I don't know actually why we are celebrating that day.
Yes. Thank you very much, Emily. That's what an intelligent approach to a very difficult issue. And I cannot be more proud of you today. I cannot be more proud of you. Because what you've done now, at least Evelyn approaches matter from the issue of justice. You understand? an election was won, and it was annulled. Sadly, and in fact, I can remember the very words of Abiola. Don't worry, we are children of history. When the man came out and declared himself president, he said, I am the custodian of a sacred mandate, freely given. Okpetu, Nigeria was shaking. You understand? You see, he said he was the custodian of a sacred mandate, freely given. He's not giving it up. That was when he declared himself president. He won. Again, like Ebony Riley said, he was arrested. You understand? Put in jail. After auditing, she couldn't tell. I don't want to tell too whether he was killed or he died. But at the end of the day, he died. But I want to say, Abiola was a sacrificial lamb that brought democracy to Nigeria. And perhaps anything we do now, that blood, maybe there's a way blood works. The blood of Abiola is spilled and is spilled around Nigeria. So democracy will stay. That's my belief. You understand? The blood was never going in vain. Thank you very much for that beautiful insight. Let us hear from somebody who is a little bit older, you understand, than her. And see what does he understand by June 12th. Because, and I know those of you at home have different understanding. I've been trying some swag into it. But today, let us look at it more deeply. From you see, the Gen Z. Actually, Evelyn is more Gen Z millennium, you know. Now let's hear from somebody that I would say was this one would have been our when we did school for the teach them when they did them you know, that was why. And Evelyn, if you know how a secondary school be here, if you go to class 2, you can punish class 1. If you see the way they wear go school, you want to bounce on my intelligence, you go punish them. So lean down there, you understand? Because you don't reach class 2. It was fun. You know, I remember we were in this class, because we were stubborn, sometimes parents go send you go hostel. Everybody gets senior. Senior go say, make you read the notebook. You read. He say, then after they read, you go there, pump, you don't mess. If you pause, you are dead. You keep reading, even when you mess. And you go there, put food for them. Maybe now class 5, 1 to 5, now go there the same place. Everybody get place. Senior go say, put in my own until I laugh. Now class 1 they serve you give him food, they look in face until he laugh. The food not plenty you. If you not smile, if you stop, what you they find, you go say that was the kind of secondary school we went. You understand? So when we talk about secondary school life, it's completely different from the one you guys saw today. So when you guys want to talk about secondary school, come to us. Well, we can tell you a different thing. So that is exactly what you see today. We've heard from Evelyn, a millennium/Gen Z generation, on her take of June 12th, which is, I think, is amazing. Justice was not served. Yeah. You understand? Justice was not served, and that is sad. But let's hear from now Engineer Masha, who might give something different. Yeah.
Quite an emotional reflection on the circumstances that led to the death of Abiola. Most importantly, we must understand something. So much money was spent by the Babangida administration for the actualization of the electoral reforms and electoral process at that time. We had 2 political parties, the SDP and the NRC, National Republican Party and the Social Democratic Party. And the NRC had Bashir Tofa as the presidential candidate, and PDP had Moshood Abiola. Through a process of open internal democracy, they emerged. For the first time in Nigeria, when Abiola emerged as a candidate, he chose a northeasterner from Borno State, Baba Kingibe, as his running mate, 2 Muslims. Nigerians never batted an eyelid. They didn't shout that this is a Muslim ticket. We had not gotten to the depth of religious hypocrisy that we have presently in our democratic trajectory. And they came with a manifesto that they planned and they were going to be acting upon. People were excited because of the fact that Abiola was an international brand. He loved Nigeria passionately. He wanted to rule, not desperately, because he didn't look like someone who was so much after power. He had a lot of businesses and he wanted to project the image of Nigeria. He had contacts. And people were excited because they hoped that, yes, the coming of a man like Abiola was going to herald a new economic boom for the economy. But then we failed to look at the dissidents, political dissidents, that's what I call them, both in the military, both in the civilian people within the government and around the government. And it's unfortunate to note that Abiola was one man that was so universally loved, but not liked by his close friends and his people. Now, what happened? June 12th, Nigerians came out en masse, not to vote along religious lines, not to vote along ethnic lines, but to vote on the template of neutrality and content. And they voted for this man. It was unanimous as the votes were coming in. One man that would have made history, and he had the opportunity to make history, was late Professor Humphrey Nwosu, the INEC chairman at that time. He could have made history because if he had gone around to declare Abiola winner, nothing could have happened than the acceptance by the ruling military oligarchs at that time. But they didn't do that because he was coerced and asked not to. Forget the book Babangida has written. Not all of us, a lot of people have a history of what happened. It's now more like passing the buck, passing the blame and all that. Why did they not speak when there was time to speak out? Abiola had to travel out, and he came back November 1993 and declared himself. I watched the clips. His son showed us the hall where they used to hold political meeting in his house at Tony Street in Ikeja, where he declared himself winner. Now, it's so unfortunate that our celebration of June 12th, from my own perception and ideology, is wrong. Why do I say it's wrong? It is wrong because lessons were not learned from that stolen mandate. I expected an improvement in our democratic process leading on to leadership. I expected an improvement in transparency. I expected an improvement in strengthening of our institutions, especially INEC. But I didn't see that happen. Abiola's death should have brought us closer together as a people. But the major reason why he did not, because some of his own people played a role in the betrayal of his mandate, in the stealing of his mandate. I remember vividly, even some international communities, some like the IMF and the World Bank, he had a press conference in Ikeja and he made reference prior to, before the election, and he said something, that I am not going to allow this country to be borrowing again. That all our debts, all our borrowing institutions, the IMF, the World Bank, and other borrowing institutions should forget about lending to Nigeria when it comes into power. And you know, African leadership is premised on international conspiracy. A lot of international interests were embedded in that, besides the political, the military political interest. That was so obvious at that time. For a man like Babangida to come out to say he was coerced. You were the chief of CEC, the commander-in-chief. You were coerced by your chief of army staff, General Abacha, at that time, that you were scared of coup, and you were a coupist. You played a role in so many of the coups. I mean, it's laughable when you hear that kind of thing. Now, Abiola's death and Abiola's stolen mandate and death was supposed to bring healing, but it did not bring healing. We have not learned lessons from the sacrifices that were made. How much was spent by the government? Billions of naira at that time. The government single-handedly built offices in the 36, then were not 36, were 19 states for the two political parties, the SDP and the NRC, to run their affairs. Someone had that contract. It is just so painful that the sacrifices that were made by Nigerians, not just Abiola, by Nigerians, it's not been seen as true. It's a true reflection of our past to help in judging and presenting a better future or a better present and future for our democracy. Now we're celebrating June 12th as Democracy Day. What lessons were learned? Why is it Democracy Day? What was the achievement? That a mandate was stolen on June 12th, and we are celebrating. We are not asking ourselves, why do we celebrate June 12th? For what reasons are we celebrating? For what reasons was it adjudged to be Democracy Day? Have we learned from 1993, return of democracy in 1999 to date, of the lessons that June 12th stole from us, or the mandate of June 12th stole from us? Have we learned? No. There are so many June 12th that have come and gone in this the democratic trajectory since 1999. The last election was like June 12th. So many of Jonathan's election moved like June 12th. So, but what I'm saying in essence is this, Chris. The point here is the relevance of declaring June 12th Democracy Day. Now, if they ask the people that said, yes, we are celebrating Democracy Day, at June 12th is Democracy Day, why is it Democracy Day? That is my question. Why are we celebrating it as Democracy Day? No, not one of the politicians. Some of them that stole them, aided and abated in the stealing of that mandate, are still in the corridors of power. They have refused to die. They have refused to leave power. Why are we celebrating it? They will not be able to tell us. Justice was not served to that man and to the family and to Nigerians, because that would have been an opening for Nigeria to have attained a certain height if we had allowed it. Look, it's so painful when you steal someone's mandate. It is so painful. Or when you hear that someone slept with your wife, it can never be the same. That is the same situation. It's so painful because the leaders of today have refused to improve on the modalities, morality, and the reasons that have adjudged June 12th to be Democracy Day. If truly want to call it Democracy Day, then there's so many sacrifices that really ought to be made. People should be in jail by now for stealing our collective commonwealth. People should be in jail by now for stealing mandates. How can you tell me we're celebrating Democracy Day when democracy is being subverted in so many fronts, that somebody can be contesting for presidential primaries and they will keep a senatorial seat waiting for him, or somebody wins a senatorial seat, and because he lost the presidential primaries, he goes back to his state and subverts somebody's mandate and keeps it for himself? How can you tell me that we're celebrating Democracy Day when 60% of our results, our democratic results or electoral results are gotten through the court of law? 60% of the judgments or people that have come to be in positions of authority through electoral processes have gotten it through the court. Is that a true reflection that we have learned or we have improved on democracy? No. How can we be celebrating Democracy Day when truly we don't have freedom of speech? That it is wrong for you as a person to come out to criticize the government. There should be freedom of speech and expression. There's no freedom of gathering for you to project your ideals or any pronouncement that is anti-government, even if the government is doing wrong. It's a treasonable offense. It's a treasonable statement. But then there is subversion of justice. Why? Because the law, there's no equity in the law concerning such issues. So summarizing, it's a very elaborate question that you asked, and it draws back very nostalgic memories, because I remember the celebration of that day, the results, normally before INEC will release their results, people already know the results from the polling booths and all that. The mood in the country was emotional. The mood was so acceptable. Christians celebrated, Muslims celebrated, pagans celebrated that, oh, a new dawn has come, until those in power decided against that. And I'm sorry to say this, the biggest problem of any person are the closest people to you. Abiola's biggest problem was his closest friends. The stealing of the mandates were done by people that were closest to him, both in the military and in the Southwest, the region he came from. They did not believe in his vision, but then he had a manifesto that could have transformed this country. And it's so painful today that we have not learned lessons from that. And I hope that with a discussion like this, we continue to open up opinions, divided opinions. And what are the benefits of people like the Bangida today, that you're coming out at almost 80-something to say you were coerced into annulling the election? The annulment of that election was a collective decision. But you as the commander-in-chief should have stood firm and decided on the contrary, to say, no, this man won it, and because he's your personal friend. He funded most of the so many things for them, but then for the military per se, he was a backbone financer of the military in so many fronts. He supported football at the highest level. He was a unifying factor between the north, the south, the west, the east. He was well loved, but the mandate was stolen, and today we celebrate Democracy Day. It's painful though, but where do we go from here, sir?
It cannot be better. It cannot be better said. You see, I'm still listening to engineer, and yes, see, you asked a very good question, which I ask again, is why are we celebrating it? What are the core ingredients that make it special? See, if you ask me, one, you see, it was said to be largely free from rigging. Meaning it was free and fair. Fantastic. That is what it is. It was the choice of the people, which they have all explained here. Everybody was celebrating because the right person, the person we wanted, won. And it didn't allow him to go in. What a shame. That is one thing to celebrate. Thank you very much for that. Justice was not served. Evelyn Wright said so. But you know me, as a student of democracy, my pain is this: that a structure that would have succeeded, that would have, in fact, today now, all of us will know the meaning of SRT, not be SRTV, I beg, when I leave my company. SDP and NRC. We would have understood. Because when I went, I remember going to the field to go and pick, I wanted to register. I was asking a very senior politician, which one I go follow? The man said, you see Whitey, you see Gritty, which one not be Whitey better pass? He was convincing me to join NRC. Because NRC was the white symbol, and then SDP was the green symbol. And I said, immediately I bought it. That's the power. See, that's how politicians can make you to do certain things. They have the power to do so. Ordinary word like that was so captivating. I say, well, that's the question I ask you today. It's going to be more than this. Because I'm coming back to my people and guests. Now that they look good, maybe I will just stay with them. I thought your picture was looking better. And then if you can work on it, then I want to quickly add you guys back. Let me roll with it for some minute. You know, what I was going to say is this. Do you understand, or do you know then, that until this Third Republic, Nigeria never has stupid democracy? How do I put it? They never have meaningless democracy. We never had meaningless political parties. Let me put it in the simplest term. Parties became meaningless during this Third Republic. Like I already mentioned, if you go back, sorry guys, most of you that are young, we had the UPN and the MPN. UPN, if you were in Bende State, UPN won our state. And Bruce Ali, because Ali won, you know what we got? We were lucky. Some people that couldn't go to school went back to school. It was free education. They said education should be for everyone. But then the NPN were saying, no, we can't afford this. Let us go for quality education. Tony Blair merged it in the UK. There was a time university education was free in the UK. The government knew they cannot afford it. You know what the Tony Blair did? It was the Labour man who would have been able to support that thing to the core. Tony Blair said, we can afford it. He used the word. You can't even say everything without somebody paying for it. Tony Blair defended it. And he now introduced the school fees. They were rampant. He didn't bloody care. Today, the university education in the United Kingdom is as stable as it gets. You want to go to school? It's still accessible. Take a loan and go to school. But you're going to pay when you finish. I think it's fair. Somebody get to pay for it. Either you pay before you go or you pay when you finish. Now you cannot pay before you go. You get a loan, go and do. When you finish, you pay. I buy it. Do you understand that? Education doesn't have to be free. These are things I talk about every day on this show. Education must not be free. It doesn't need to be free. And that's why I'm going to ask the question again, now that I can see your beautiful faces, Asaba.
Yeah.
What do you understand? What is the political ideology of the APC and the PDP? A quick one. I left the two of you to talk. What do you understand? When they say APC, what do you expect from the government? And when they say PDP, what do you expect from the government? Or let me help you.
Yes.
The Renew agenda, what do you understand by it? What is more agenda? How does it match PDP, APC? Where does it come from? Are we yes. Go on, sir.
And Chris, very unfortunate, quite very unfortunate, because I really want to your salvo, your opening salvo in the second stanza was quite reflective, and I would want to start from there. We had 5 political parties in the Second Republic. We had the UPN, the MPN, UPN with Awolowo as the candidate, MPN Shehu Shagari, MPP, you had Nnamdi Azikiwe, GMPP, Great Nigerian People's Party, you had Waziri Ibrahim, and of course the PROP, which had Dr. Tunji Braithwaite. And each of those 5 political parties, they were very, very ideologically based. They had a manifesto that they followed through from the primaries from the local government primaries to the national primaries before the presidential candidates emerged. And when they came into power, the MPN came into power at the center, and the UPM, like you referenced, came into power mostly at the southwest and Midwest, which was Bendel then. And we had free education. You didn't even tell them well. The free education is not, no. Now, when most of them say, I'm giving you scholarship, I'm giving you free education, it's only for tuition. But in Bendel, during the UPN government, the free education we had was, it follows with books. They give us notebooks. They give us textbooks. And I think there was a period, I don't know whether we're having lunch or I can't remember again. And you said MPN said it was expensive. For UPN to be able to do it as a progressive in their states where they had governors, that means they could do it from the center. But because of political interest, they didn't want to do it. And why was it possible? Awolowo was an ideologist. They were part of the founding fathers of our independence, of our nationhood. Himself, Azikiwe. And you can see what happened. In the southeast, I think MPP had Anambra State, Imo State. I can't remember much of the ideology then, but I think it was not different from what they projected during the presentation of their manifesto. The electorate at that time demanded, they were not asking you to give us 5,000, we'll go and thumb print for you. The electorate at that time were informed. They were educated. They wanted to hear so that they can hold you accountable if you deviate from the manifesto. They wanted to hear the manifesto. It is not this showbooting we see the presidential media chat where bring out the presidential candidates and come and face media men and talk. It's not like that. The electorate
begin to do ugly jobs for them.
The electorate were the media, where they were in the eyes of the people. So the people voted along. I didn't say there was no rigging. There was rigging. You know what I tell you there was rigging? If I knew it was this topic, I would have done my research and brought. There was mass rigging. Because, why do I tell you? UPM actually won that election. I mean, yes, UPM, Awolowo. And it was rigged to favor a certain headmaster, Alhaji Shehu Shagari of the MPP. The MPP, of course, of the MPN. The MPN, of course, they had most of the institutions there. They had a lot of the power brokers, financial backbones. But the UPN had ideology and the people, and they voted along that line and they won. But then the Nigerian factor would always come into play. Now, fast forward to the present democracy, the Third Republic. In the first one, in the Second Republic, no of us came with any agenda. As I speak with you, and I will tell you the truth, I do not know the wife of Ambrose Folorunso Ali. There was no office of the First Lady of the Governor of Bender State at that time. I stand to be corrected.
That's correct. Who is
I do not know the wife. Yeah, I do not know the wife of Shehu Shagari. Nnamdi Azikiwe, we didn't see his wife in public domain. HID was only known because of humanitarian works in Ikene, in Ogun State and all that, not because she was the wife of Awolowo. There was no office, there was no proliferation of political offices with multiple political appointees for positions, SSA, SA, executive assistant. But for what? Instead, the government was more concerned about creating jobs for everybody, not making our democracy much more expensive. Now, look at this Third Republic now. You asked a very important question. The manifesto.
Yes.
Let's
try and stick there for some minutes. I know we have another issue, which are making some valid point, but let's follow this manifesto's issue. If they say PDP, what do they stand for? Are they going to give us free education? Thank God you live in that time. Are you expecting free education from PDP? Or are you expecting all is more agenda? Oh, construction of roads, infrastructure. Is that what PDP is? What is PDP today? You know, where is the ideology of our current political parties? That's my question. And it's frustrating. Nigerians celebrating democracy, they don't know what is democracy then.
Very unfortunate. There was something I noticed about most of these political parties in preparing their manifestos, so-called manifestos. What do? They wait for one party to bring their own first. Then when they pick out from there and modify. And that is what has been the trajectory of... So
in other words, there's no difference between APC and the PDP.
Exactly. That's where I was going to.
We should cry.
There's no difference.
And that's something...
Their manifestos...
Yeah. You see why I said June 12th is an important day. You understand? When we celebrate June 12th and we don't bring out this ingredient, we know we are lost. The SDP was the one that was going to follow, just like the Republican or just like the Democratic Party in the United States or the Labour. For those of you who have been here, if you've been following the time when you have Obama in office, it's different from when you have Donald Trump. You understand? Because Obama was of the Democratic Party, and you see the way they will do their things. Not all their things are correct. I don't agree with the Democrats in all. You understand? Then you see the Republican, they have their own unique way. You know, they like to go to war, yes, but you know what? They handle the economy better. In fact, you said something today that I don't agree with. There was no way Nigeria was going to be able to continue to pay free education. It was for some time. It couldn't stay forever. Even the United Kingdom couldn't survive it. And I made reference to the time of Tony Blair. Tony Blair is a social democrat, but he couldn't survive it. It was Tony Blair that introduced the school fees we have now. And I said to them, you know, you don't have to pay. In fact, if you follow the labor people here, there will be no employers. Because the law is only for the workers. Workers must get this. Workers must get this. You must give the disability benefit. You must give a pregnancy benefit. You must give, and no benefit you will not give. You understand? I'm in the UK. So sometimes it becomes redundant. But that would be my personal opinion. But the most important thing, it is clear what you're going to get when you have these people. Unfortunately, in Nigeria, I don't know what to expect. I don't know what APC stand for. I don't know what the PDP stand for. More gonna take PG, tell me. In the simplest step, we're going to get free education with the APC, or we get it from all of them. And we're going to.
Now,
all I see today in Nigeria is political parties of infrastructure. You know what we have today? Are political parties of infrastructures. And quote me, I said Nigeria is running a political party, a new political party of APC, PDP. Their manifestos, as I understand, is infrastructure. If another thing they have been, make una tell me. When you don't listen to them, no, not tell me which one they.
Now, it's so unfortunate with what is happening, because the truth be said, that the present democratic dispensation has not truly brought practicable democracy to the people. Like I referenced, the manifesto of the APC, the PDP, APGA, they're all intertwined. They are similar.
They are party. So I'm right. They're political parties of infrastructure. The more agenda.
Yes.
It's infrastructure political ideology. You see, when I say don't insult these people, don't insult criminals. No, sometimes you're not qualified to be called a criminal. You can't call a village full a criminal. You have to be qualified to be a criminal. Not everybody is a qualified criminal. And that is the thing we get wrong. So you see, by the time we don't understand what a political party is and who are the players, if I come to run under PDP today, I'm going to write it and a manifestos that will be have no respect to the party, because I don't even understand what the party stand for. I can swear, but what it doesn't stand. I've never read the PDP manifestos. He has not. And now you change to the APC. What do you understand? What does the APC stand for that you are changed to? And for those of you who are not deflecting, I'm like a reverend father preaching now. I'm blessing all of you. You know, that's how Father they pray for us. I want to bless all of you now. When I know what to change to, because now God, as you verse for me, God they see you and me. And they see what they cause our children. Because we refuse to address this little thing, we don't know what democracy means anymore. And you are celebrating Democracy Day. In what sense? You just change from one party to the other. You don't understand what the political... Do you understand what it means here? Where you copy democracy, do you understand what it means? I have been in the UK for years. I've been in the United States. I watch their politics. They educated me on what democracy is on television. You that is on ground, you the joint party, you don't know. All you know is that it's a party of infrastructure. Oh my God. We will clap ourselves. Infrastructure political parties. That is the new era.
Well, unfortunately,
it's sad.
Chris, we're quite sad, but that is the reality we found ourselves. So I want to reference some questions. In the Second Republic, how many defections, how many people did you see leave UPN to MPN or MPP to SR?
Because those people were,
how many was there? Good. Was there political prostitution?
No, it cannot happen. It cannot happen in the UK. You know why? Because the people here, they will either leave politics than to join the negative side of them.
I'm telling you.
I don't agree with you. What am I coming to you to do? You can never defect from a political party to a party you don't agree with. It's just like me telling me today, I am in my own system. I am a Democrat. In fact, I belong to the liberal side, but not to the far left. I'm in the middle. And I buy some of the ideas of the conservative, but I can never be a conservative. So there's no way I can defect from the Democratic Party in America to the Republican Party. Where do you foresee? And now you say people are practicing democracy. You guys just celebrated Democracy Day. And that is where I want to challenge Nigerians. It's a difficult topic. I know you guys can't stand this. But it's something you're going to ask, your children are going to ask you tomorrow. Your governor just defected. You followed him. It happened in Delta State. It's happening everywhere. I think Akwa Ibom is the next victim now. They say Hurricane Tinubu, beautiful. And you guys celebrating Democracy Day. And I said, look at my words on this show, and you will remember me. It's an insult to call these people corrupt. That would be an insult to corrupt people. They are not qualified to be called corrupt. You see, not be every ashawo be ashawo. Sorry, my daughter. You get some class ashawo. Before you go near there, you don't say, now, babe, you go carry. You go pay and wear. Now, fly, they take the carry on. Now, say, ashawo. I mean, the one where them have a backyard. Now, there most of people were diverging. Those who want to shower too. Come on, man.
Well, quite unfortunate, like you said. We're looking at the position of perspective. Now, the major reason we're faced with this is this part about politicians, they're political jobbers. Majority of the people.
If I to call them jobbers, you are still giving them too much credit. The truth is, they're just hungry. There are people, it's now, I want to join politics because it's the only way I can get money. You have no dignity of a politician. So you are not even corrupt. You're not a corrupt politician. Don't use the word politician on them. You see, to be a politician, you want to seek power under an umbrella, under an understanding that with this ideology, I'll be able to drive the country to the next level. I come here every day and I say, this is what I think we should do. This is what I think we should do. I never say something different. You may not agree with me. I may not agree with you. But then, that is the beauty of it. I present my own to the people. You present your own to the people. Then they say clear thing. But what is going on today is infrastructure. The more agenda. Nema, there will be more roads, more this.
Now, the issues I have.
What are
these agendas and renewed hope are basically now a product of lack of depth and lack of content. Now, what do they do most of?
Yes.
What do they do most of the time? The so-called renewed hope. What they do, they will say they have acronyms for different government agencies that they use. There was Yagep, for example, whatever they want to do giveaway. That you train some people, then you give them sewing machines, you give them hair dryers, you give them. You see, my opinion on things like that is this. I think it will do us more good if we look at creating the environment for these people, because most of them end up selling those things. Immediately they leave after it has been given to them. Create an environment for conducive entrepreneurship. Reduce taxation on the people. If you know these people that have these market women, government agents will come and tax them, collect money. Local government will come, tax them. Agberos will tax them, that they will just form and reduce taxation on the people. Improve electricity. A business will thrive if the originator of that business is the person handling the business. Not be saying you gather youths, a political, tell your political aides, you got to bring out the youths from 25 local governments. Let's train them up, we empower them, bring the media and come and showcase. That does not translate to leadership. You mentioned infrastructure. You see, that is in all the manifestos of all the political parties. That is the infrastructure. Where are the infrastructure that we're talking about? It is not by attracting universities to village that makes it clappable for you, for the lecturer to come and say, university don't come out. Look at most of the universities, so-called universities they've attracted. We just have signboards there and one structure. They've not even started anything. We are looking, nobody has talked anything about the agricultural sector, for example. These so-called people, look at, there was one Obasanjo farm, if you are going to towards Kwale after Ogwashi, it has been left dormant. These youths would have been more productive if you have engaged them in productive enterprise, not training them, giving them starter packs to go and do what? Did you give them money to buy fuel? Because our power sector, Delta State, as I'm speaking with you, with the amount of gas deposits we have, We shouldn't be talking about power. We should have independent power source for the whole of Delta to aid, and you will see the trajectory of growth in manufacturing, production, and enterprise. But we don't have all that. Now, the renewed hope. What hope has been renewed? That a government will go around the states sharing mosquito nets, sharing this, sharing. You see, if they should give one mosquito net 10 naira, that means 100 naira have been shared for themselves. That is the way I have observed the kind of democracy that we're practicing. There is no hope. Buhari came with his own. The Jonathan government came with their own. But I have not seen any transformation in leadership style from all these generational politicians, or I don't know what you call them, political jobbers or whatever. I've not seen, because it is still the same people, like you referenced now. See, Tinubu tsunami, what Hurricane Tinubu. It's only in Nigeria we bring literary,
that kind of language.
We uproot literary languages to fit our situation.
Evelyn,
why?
Let's get Evelyn first. Evelyn, what do you understand by renew hope?
They are renewing our hope now, trying to make us understand that change is coming.
You understand?
They are putting our hope on the road they are commissioning and the bridges. They are trying to tell us that we should have hope in Nigeria because better days or better things are yet to come. And the president has been striving hard to show us that he has been busy. That we are just crying for nothing. He has been busy because they've been commissioning roads.
Yes.
They feel the road is our problem.
Whereas
there are states that
that's it.
Yes. Maybe they feel road is our problem here in Nigeria. We keep getting reports of Plateau State, Benue State, the danger in those states. People are dying over there. They are not doing anything about it. But they are commissioning roads and bridges. So maybe our hope is tied to the roads that they are commissioning.
Thank you, my daughter.
If you ask me, I really don't understand.
I thank you. You said it all. God bless you. God bless you. A government, you see, this was a time where you're going to ask yourself which of the political party will be tougher on security. Trust me. Trust me. During the time of them, the Tory here with Thatcher will say put them in prison. You understand? Lock them up. You understand? No sympathy. Lock them up. You understand? A government will be firm. But the party is the one that will speak the language, not the radio hope, not the more agenda. You see, a political system that is not built on a party, then what are we doing with the party? Why don't we just run everybody running their own manifestos? Because what is going on now, that the Christ is going to come and run his own manifestos and they just fly under PDP. It's not the PDP manifestos I'm running with. The PDP is just a platform for me to gather more people to vote for me. Otherwise, there's no idea in the PDP that makes me to go there. And that's the sad one. And that is something we now say to them. Let us remember that by the June 12th. That the June 12th was driven on two political parties that have an ideology that would have set our political system on a clear, transparent manner. We lost that. So when you people celebrate June 12th, that's the thing we should miss most. The lesson from that structure that was able to produce a free and fair election was missing. And Nigeria, over the years, in fact, this third generation, they are the most wicked. The Third Republic are the most greedy, the most reckless set of leaders we have ever produced. Not that they understand what they're doing. So I always say to them, you are not even qualified to be called a corrupt leader. You're not qualified to be called a thief. You got to be qualified. They're not. Now we don't have a party yet. We don't have a structure. We're not in a regime. We're not in a political system. If we are running a civilian system of government to be run on ideology of political parties, that is missing. The renew agenda of Oboriwari, you cannot tie it to PDP. That's to tell the people don't even know they are floating. Everybody can come, I want to do this. Now it's about infrastructure. That is where Nigerian government has to reduce to. Like Evelyn Riley said, what about those dying? Security is not even addressed. Which party? In my head, if I really want to get a secure state, secure policing in the UK, I'm going to go for the Tory. You understand? I'm going to go for the Tory. Because they will be more tough on crime. They will tell you we'll be tough on crime. We'll be tough on crime. It's the party speaking, not the man. I don't know.
But yeah, it's the man.
It's the party speaking, not the man.
But in Nigeria, the opposite is the case. The opposite is the case. Because when, in presentation of manifesto, when the man has spoken, it's not the party that speaks. Because if it's the party that has been speaking, we have been in APC government from 2015. We should have felt the impact of all the deceptions they told us at that time. Security was paramount. People voted for Buhari along emotional lines, especially with the fact that he promised that he was going to nip insecurity in the bud. But instead, insecurity became Hydra-headed.
And that's the mistake. And that's the mistake. We were waiting for the general to come and do it. The political party were the one that was going to do it for us. If there was a clear party, you'll be saying, okay, this is what this party is saying, or this is what the other one is saying, or this approach will be better for us now. You know, it's clear in the party, in the manifestos of the party. We don't have that. We're lost. We don't know whether we're practicing democracy or not, whether we have a political system or not. But what we have now is man system. Everybody can come with an agenda, like the more agenda. It doesn't care. That the Chris is coming with his own. Evelyn, craft my own idea. The one will take campaign. I better write that down. So that when we come out, you guys will preach it for me. So that, hey, Sally, don't wait, this is no joke, my daughter. We're in trouble. Any system that is not built on a political understanding, we have an issue. Going back to history, Nigeria, we've been able to identify that even the then UPN promised you free education, and they did it. When you don't, you know what you're going to get. And next time, you know what to vote. You understand it. You're not voting for the man, you're voting for the party. That's why they said the party you're running under the party. There's no money. The man face is not in that paper. If you see your ballot, you don't see your body face. You don't see your Amagage face. What you see are the parties. Have you ever seen anybody face on your party, on your ballot paper? It's not allowed. It's the party you vote for. It's a big language. And that was what Babangida took away from us. Like I said, the same hand that brought it is the same hand that took it. Babangida, you should be ashamed. When we cry today, we're not crying for the death of Fabiola. We're crying for a structure that would have stepped us. In fact, young people would have understood democracy right from the time they were born. Then everybody would have come to see that, like a child born in America today is born to see, to inherit a structure called the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. A child born in the UK is born into a culture of the Labour Party and the Tories. You know, you see, your parents have something to give to you. But today, Daddy Chris is going to come with a new party. I'm coming now. Rubbish. Now the ballot paper cannot even carry out the political parties. Waste of resources. You get to stop. And it has to be now. I cannot say this better than as it is today. Unfortunately, I was not available on June 12th. This was what I'm going to talk about. This topic is going to go into next week, as I will say, have some time on the show, to cry with you. It's a time to moan. It's not a time. It's a time to wipe. This, like engineer said, this is a cry for help. A cry for understanding Nigerians. We are in a system that we don't even understand. And that's a starting point. And because, you see why history is so good, I was able to, those of you who are here now, I was able to drag your memory strictly back. Those of you watching, you have drawn your memory back to when there was a political party that had a manifesto that meant something. Oborivori come and wrote a manifesto. He doesn't care where the party is from. More than no verse, not only him. I'm just using him because it's the more agenda I can remember. You understand? That's so I could go across the country. And that is not a dispensation to be proud of. It's something we should be frowning at. And if we can understand this, then we don't even need to blame them. Like I said, I don't blame this guy. Because first I look at him, what do you not understand? How do you expect me to give what I don't have? Nigerians are expecting our leaders to give what they don't have. You see, like I said, I don't necessarily agree with all. You can see them disagreeing with one another and buying from one another. They do. Like I said, Tony Blair bought some idea when he found out that, oh, education cannot be free completely. We have to find another way to do it. He came up with a system. Now it's working now that we have inherited today. Hey, Nigerians. What Tony Blair did then is what we are enjoying now. Do you understand? It is very important to make policy knowing that you will not be there forever. And whatever you do will live on for years. Let us go on a break. When we come back, we'll spend some time to look at the papers. Evelyn, you can take a look at the papers with us, and then I will talk a little bit about Nigerian Week, which is really around the corner. The event it's all over. We are very busy right now thinking of Nigerian Week, and I wish you guys are going to be here with us to help us because it's a lot of work, and to be here with you for 1 minute is like they've taken part of me, but it has to be done, and that's why I joined you today. Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll be taking a look at the Nigerian papers. I can see on Punch already that the Abiola children are already demanding compensation. They do that, and sometimes we don't even see the children. I'm not disappointed that man. Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll take a look at that.
Nigeria Week London 2025. It's time to celebrate the pulse of Africa's most exciting nation. It's coming to Hippodrome Theatre from July 24th to 26, 2025, showcasing the best in Nigerian arts, music, fashion, and investment opportunities. Whether you're looking to discover the future of real estate, explore Nigeria's culinary masterpieces, or get immersed in an electric Afrobeat performance, this is the event of the year. You can also join us for a film festival, cultural dance spectacles, and the recognition awards. Don't miss out on the business opportunities and cultural experiences waiting for you. Book your tickets now before they're gone on eventbrite.co.uk. Call or text +447 438 893 190 or 080 330 46768 or +447 459 071 747. Visit our website superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week London 2025, celebrating the best of Nigeria, is partnered with Civil Society, scaling up nutrition in Nigeria.
Welcome back, people. This is the weekly bulletin, and we are here in London and Asaba. Unfortunately, we didn't have Abuja this morning. Nigeria, you can never predict. Only in Nigeria, where rain can stop people from going to work. That is how bad it is. We get problem, rain. So we've been seeing rain from the day one. Rain, because we are not prepared. That example of preparedness. And these are things that are going to help economy to grow. Evelyn, because before we don't have so much time, I don't think we should spend all the time today on this show. We have a lot to do. Let's take a look at the papers together. All right, let's start with Punch, all right?
Okay, let's start with the Punch.
Yeah.
The headline of the Punch, June 12th. MKO Abiola's family demands 45 billion naira contract debt. Details. That was page 4. So they are demanding 45 billion naira.
Billion, okay.
It says family may file. Yeah. It says family may file claims for money, says presidency. I think since they didn't give justice at that time, it's not too late, I would say. There is something they can actually do.
Yeah, okay, yeah. But I still expect the June 12th movement to have a strong belief, that June 12th, because it's a democracy which has been turned to democracy, which is good. I think there are some people who should believe in June 12th and use the ideology of what I've been dragging today, not because it's annoyed alone, not the compensation that goes to family, but the beauty or the culture that was destroyed. Let me use the word. When you destroy people's culture, that's the biggest damage you can do. You destroy their way of life. So our system of electing governors, which was the like Engineer Raleigh said, they were buildings built, money was spent. We have a secretariat for APC, a secretariat for PDP across the country. Across the country. There's a lot. There's something you can't pay for. And today, where are those buildings? I should say, when I sell myself, do you know what happened to them, engineer?
Yeah.
Can you still identify where we had the building? Because building can stay longer. Where are they? What are they used for now? Has the government turned it to police station or something to good use? That's something we should be asking ourselves question. Is INEC using it? Because those are government properties. Because those parties no more exist. The government built them.
Well,
so
most of them have turned to camps for mobile police camps.
All right.
Most of them, the one in Warri, most of them that I know have turned to camps, and basically some have turned to abandoned government properties. Some have turned to homes for criminals, criminal hideouts, and all that. Quite unfortunate, no doubt. But I want us to understand something from that Punch narrative. That narrative sounds like more like monies that are owed the family, contracts that were owed to Abiola.
Yes.
Abiola contract debt. Probably the government has not paid till now, and it's gone about 45 billion because he was a government contractor at that time. And you know, successive government, there's a way, if their interests are not protected, there's a way, it even happens in the public service, someone will sit on the file. So they have not asked for compensation yet. They are asking for the debts that have been owed the father, that have been owed for contract done by the Abiola family. Remember, we had Concord Airlines. We had Concord newspaper then. We had Abiola Farms. So these were business interests that the government was patronizing at that time. So I think it's justifiable. The government should hide itself in shame and just pay the family the money, even if they're not going to pay compensation. Because compensation is another process it could take.
Okay, anyway, let's go on, daughter. Let's go on.
That's the major story on the Punch.
Okay.
Let's go to the Guardian. The headline on the Guardian: road crashes rise amidst highway corruption, obsolete equipment. Like, they are commissioning new roads, but the road is not even safe for the people. That's a huge problem that we'll be facing here in Nigeria. That is a major headline on the
infrastructure.
Guardian. Then the Saturday Times.
Because this is a time where we know that any government of Nigeria is about infrastructure. The former governor of Delta State is a road master. Wike is known for constructing bridges and roads to commissioning. No matter what he does, he carried that now to Abuja. You know, this is not their fault. It's what they inherited. Who is fault? Who is guilty here? That's what Babangida has cost us. Maybe had Babangida allowed the SDP and the NRC to stay, they would have belonged to one of these parties and have an ideology building them. But we don't need to have we don't need a renew agenda or hope more agenda or the roadmaster agenda. You would have a political party that is already in place. Like we would have the Democratic Party, where Obama ran election and won. All Obama always say is change. We need to change from the way we used to do things. But the core value. Oh, you know what's so fun? Let me tell you this. Obama was struggling to bring in the gun crime, the gun, that he want to take the gun from the people. But Americans will not allow you to take gun from them. You see the two society. America, they are very sensitive to certain things. And Americans is allowed to carry gun. But that's why the gun is too much on the street. You can just shoot it at one another. But there's a good argument for it. I want to protect myself. Now, maybe in Nigeria, it's time for us to start carrying gun. So armed robber coming to my house knows that I have my gun. You see the American idea. You come into an American to go and rob him, he's armed. He's going to kill you in self-defense. But the problem is there's too much gun on the street. You see, every argument, there's always going to be side. But at least give us the option. What is it? What does this do? Where does this stand in APC and PDP? What I just said now. Those of you watching me, please, this is serious. I just give you an instance in America. Can you think of anything relating to that here? It does not exist. Now, the current problem they face in America is that of healthcare. I mentioned it before. In fact, Clinton's wife, her own is about healthcare. That everybody in the US should be entitled to free healthcare. It should be accessible to all, like we have in the UK. The Democrat will say, we don't want to live in a communist society. They call it a communist idea. Again, they are right to in their own way. They believe that the quality of healthcare will fall. But it doesn't really fall that much here in the UK. But sometimes it really have its weaknesses in the UK because it's free. Do you understand? But what I'm saying is the two are clear. From two political parties, you don't need somebody to come and say this is what it is. And that is what we lack. What is lacking, in fact, in a moment, I don't know the proportion to describe it in Nigerian politics. It's not there. These are parties that lack ideologies. If nothing else, if you say they have, where are they? I've asked you intelligent people on the show again. I'm going to end the show with it now. I'm coming back to two of you, sir and woman, Evelyn. What are the political ideologies of the APC and the PDP? Let's close the show with that so that Nigerians will end the show. They know how we ended it. We're not going to go too far again. What do you understand to be the political ideology of the PDP and that of the APC? I don't want to talk.
Well, for me, I don't see any. They don't have any political ideology, because the most important thing we need to observe, if they have political ideology, what we see, there will not be political prostitution. What Nyesom Wike is doing in PDP and claims to be in PDP and is working with APC will not be there. I've never seen it happen in my lifetime, that somebody can be in two political parties. And there was no political ideology, because I found that the political leaders in the People's Democratic Party were finding it difficult to call him to order. So, and the punitive measures within the political parties do not work. A party with ideology will not allow cross-carpeting, because the excuses for them, the reasons they give are so kindergarten that you can support Mr. President from any political party if you truly want to support him at the center. But besides that, your own party must present a presidential candidate. Why would you leave your presidential candidate and support the APC candidate because it's the president? That goes to show you the myopic level of reasoning that some of these political gladiators have. And with a true political ideology, it will be reflective in the opposition. Today, suppose the opposition have turned around to embrace the ruling party because of selfish interest. They want to consolidate on power. Look at what the Akwa Ibom State governor is saying. And all of them. So it's laughable. It's laughable. I'm sick about it.
Emily, what do you understand? Let's end with you.
It doesn't even matter what their own ideology is, because it seems like they have their own, and the way at which they are trying to play the game is not what the people even care about. They can have a one-party state, but what the people care about is we need fairness, transparency. Whichever party they are in is none of the people's business. We don't care. Although we don't want a one party, they need to be an opposition. But you are meant to serve the people. You are the leader because you are meant to serve the people. So you should serve the people in whichever party you want to be in, with the people who don't care. You give us a mandate, you should be able to fulfill whatever you bring out, whatever mandate you give out, you should be able to fulfill all. With Oboriwori, he said it doesn't matter which party he joins, that the more agenda will not stop. It will keep bringing up more opportunities to the people, and we are expecting that he should do as he has said, as he has promised the people. So we have high hopes for our leaders. We depend on them because they are our, should I say, our God here on earth, our mini God here on earth. So
I agree with you.
we believe they can do better, they can do more. That's what I feel, what I think.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Listen, we're going to do the show. We're going to try and take a little bit of break. We have a lot going on behind. Like I said, Nigerian Week is around the corner. I'm inviting everybody to Nigerian Week. It's happening here in Golders Green, very close to our office, really. Just right here at the train station, the Golders Green train station. It's a Hippodrome Theater. We're going to be there from the 24th to the 26th, and it's going to be awesome. We have the film festival. We have the music day. We have a lot of trade exhibition, presentations, networking, and then at the end of the day, we're going to close the event with an award ceremony, recognizing those who are making us proud. Nigeria cannot fail. Nigeria will never fail. Some people will fail and go. Nigeria remain, and that's what I found out. That Babangida has failed, he has gone. We're going to find a new political party that have a meaning, that bring out that same culture, so that our children will inherit something good. You see, the problem is when you have a place where there's no political party, then because the political party is the one is meant to lead us with ideas. Oh, should we go here? Should we go here? A state where where we have political parties that doesn't have ideas, meaning the voters are confused. We are voting for the man. We're not voting for the idea. That's the problem. You vote for Babangida, or you vote for Tinubu, or you vote for Boriwori. You are voting for the man. You are not voting for the idea that the man is bringing in. And that is where we are, A place where you vote for the man is not governance. The modern democratic creed is you will vote along ideas. The man is supposed to sell his manifestos to you. If you agree, you follow him. If you don't agree, you vote him out. Now you're voting the man either because he's from your place, or he can give you political appointment, which is actually living your life, your career, everything about you. Shame on us, all of us, both the political parties, the people practicing it, and those of us who are not even asking the right questions. It got to change, and the time is now. Thank you very much for joining me this afternoon, young ladies, and Ebola engineer. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. You guys are glowing now. The platform has suffered us. Now it presents two of you very glowing now. See, Evelyn, now I won't marry you out. See, at the beginning, he didn't want us to get you out. No, these are some wicked. Sometimes they could just eclipse them so that nobody could see Evelyn's face properly. Now, see, thank you very much. Anyway, we do this again on Monday.
Thank you.
And like we always say, let Nigeria is number one. What are we doing? If we don't believe in the brand Nigeria, I won't be organizing the Nigerian Week here. Nigerian Week is an event designed to showcase Nigeria, both in art, everything to the rest of the world. Our Nigerian food, everything you talk about Nigeria, even the Nigerian people, to the rest of the world. And one of the things we're doing now, there's certain things I said, the UK will come and copy from us. You know what I said? Oh, my pain today, let me tell you, Babangida, this. If the SDP and the NRC has stayed, today, students from Oxford will be coming to Nigeria to come and learn. Because it was a unique structure. That's the thing we should miss mostly. This is exactly what I was saying. A place that when you now say, okay, this is you have the building set up. The ideology is clear. You can modify it. But you know what? You have two options. Either here or here. We don't want to go far left. We don't want to go far right. Come within the same place. Let us work together. You've condensed the whole the left and right into two. You must be able to join one. And let it be about driving the country forward. Today, I would have known which party can fight crime better than the other one. we will know which one would have given us a free education or the one that would have given us quality education. We for don't declare. When we are voting, we know. Not voting for the man can't do it. It's not meant for the man to do. Today, we are running a government of the strong man. I beg, strong man lead to what? Absolute power, corrupt, absolutely. Tinubu is now corrupt because of the absolute power given to him. If you don't follow Tinubu, you are in trouble. This is now, you see the problem. Every hurricane, Tinubu, who is Tinubu to be hurricane? Because he has been given absolute power. Not the political party. Because the party cannot ask Tinubu question. Tinubu can sack the party. That's what you see. If I don't like the party, Oboriwo didn't like PDP. He sacked PDP. Not the party sacking him. You see? Tinubu, if Tinubu live there today and join PDP, PDP will win. Because you see, the power that was on the party has been given to Tinubu. Tinubu is now moving with the party. He will now move with the power. It got to change. That's not how it's meant to be. That's not the plan of the word democracy. Let us practice it for what it is, if at all it means any meaning for us. That's a debate we'll debate another day, whether it is even a thing we should be practicing. But if it is done, you see, sometimes when people argue that we shouldn't practice Christianity, that we shouldn't practice Islam, that we shouldn't practice democracy, even as African, I said, no. These are all ideas from God. Christianity is from God. Islam is from God. But I want to see Islam in Nigeria practiced differently from Islam in the United Kingdom, from Islam in the United Arab Emirates. It has to be indigenized. It has to be meaningful to us. Christianity in Nigeria, Christianity is practiced in Nigeria differently from the way it's practiced anywhere. We've made it our own, except we don't take money join us. Otherwise, we have done well when it comes to Christianity. We've done well. We made it our own. In fact, you know something I like about Christianity? Let me tell you this. In my place, in those days, we used to dance in Bay. Now they brought in Christianity, they merged it. Have you seen this, the White Garment Church? That was a culture. Add Christianity, join them. It become a new one. Or you they can't learn. What did that one mean? That is how you take somebody's things and make it your own. You must not copy it the way they are doing it. That's something I was expecting. The SDP and the NRC was in that direction. Babangida, you were going there and then you mess it. You know, in one place they call Mr. Ganazi in my place. The thing goes sheet, white sheet, finish. You can't put one black one on top. That's what Babangida did. And it's a shame on you. Maybe you don't do like this now. Look, I may will end the show, may will see in face. You see, that's to tell you, anybody that is doing this, there will be a day. Look at you now. Even the man that is dead is better than you. Sometimes it's not even good to be alive. It's good to die. Look at him. You are not like a pauper living on earth. That's why I end the show, my people. We'll do this again on Monday. Thank you very much for joining me. We'll do this again. God bless you guys. See you.
Nigeria Week London 2025. It's time to celebrate the pulse of Africa's most exciting nation. It's coming to Hippodrome Theatre from July 24th to 26, 2025, showcasing the best in Nigerian arts, music, fashion, and investment opportunities. Whether you're looking to discover the future of real estate, explore Nigeria's culinary masterpieces, or get immersed in an electric Afrobeat performance, this is the event of the year. You can also join us for a film festival, cultural dance spectacles, and the recognition awards. Don't miss out on the business opportunities and cultural experiences waiting for you. Book your tickets now before they're gone on eventbrite.co.uk. Call or text +447 438 893 190 or 080 330 46768 or +447 459 071 747. Visit our website superiorradioandtelevision.com. Nigeria Week London 2025, celebrating the best of Nigeria, is partnered with Civil Society, scaling up nutrition in Nigeria. SR TV.
Innovative content. Global audience.